What's going on, my peoples? 𝐿𝐴𝐴 in the building, back with another video from OK Beats. In this video, we are going to be mixing some vocals. Another thing that I want to do with these vocals is I want to try out this vocal chain that a friend of mine from TikTok shared with me. He bets that the chain is going to sound bad, and just from looking at the chain myself, I don't know, I feel like, you know, we could make it work. We'll cross that line when we get there. Let's get right into it. So going into the DAW, and here we have 3 vocals, which is the lead vocals, the hook, and the background vocals. And then we have this all Vox group. That's the group of all of the vocals in this session. And then we have this master track, obviously, which I'm going to remove this fruity limiter. That's not my go-to limiter. Not that I don't use it. I'm not going to say I don't use it. It has its functions. It has its strengths. So we're just going to listen. Okay, the lead vocal is the one I want to try the processing chain on. So I'm going to go ahead and go to like the middle of this hook right here. This is the hook. I'm going to go to like the middle of this hook, so that it can go into the verse. I want you guys to hear it real quick. Man, can't even make the shit. You can't even make the shit. Man, can't even make the shit. For the bucks, try my luck, rock a tux. When I left the block, looking different from the penguins in that flock. Alright, so obviously you can't hear much, right? It sounds like a mess. So the first thing I got to do, because I'm looking and I don't have the beat anywhere in this mixer, so I'm going to go ahead up here to this beat and double click on it. And I'm just going to hit this little track button right here. And that's going to go ahead and send it to the next available mixer track. So this is the beat now right here. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this lead vocals over here. The very first thing that I'm going to add, this is for IDDC Studios on TikTok, Pro Q4. It says Pro Q3, but I upgraded to the Pro Q4 and I no longer use the 3. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the 4. Okay, so the first things first, I want to go ahead and knock off these lows. So I'm gonna knock those off to about 100 hertz, or a little bit lower than that, like around 96. Let's see. For the bucks, try my luck, rock a tux. When I left the block, looking different from the penguins in that flock. I guess that makes me a black. And then I'm gonna come over here around 700 and remove some of those peaks here in that area. For the bucks, try my luck, rock a tux. When I left the block, looking different from the penguins in that flock. I guess that makes me a black sheep with gold socks. Big shoes, but there's no Lambo and no pork chops. Boosted a little bit over here at about 5K, 4K. For the bucks, try my luck, rock a tux. When I left the block, looking different from the penguins in that flock. I guess that makes me a black sheep with gold socks. Big shoes, but there's no Lambo and no pork chops. After work. Alright, so next thing is 1176 from UAD. There we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this some compression real quick. For the bucks, try my luck, rock a tux. When I left the block, looking different from the penguins in that flock. I guess that makes chops. After work, I ain't strolling to no boat lots. Just me and my Corona. Alright, like that. Let's go to 𝐴𝐴 from Waves. Okay. Let's hear this. For the bucks, try my luck, rock a tux. When I left the block, looking different from the penguins in that flock. I guess that makes me a black sheep with gold socks. Big shoes, but there's no Lambo and no pork chops. After work, I ain't strolling to no boat lots. Just me and my Corona headed to the smoke shop, right next to the dope spot, which is legal, so there's most spots homegrown, so everybody got their own spot. Okay. And then the last thing I see here is soft tube tape, which I don't have the soft tube one, but I do have Ampex A2R. Let's hear this. For the bucks, try my luck, rock a tux. When I left the block, looking different from the penguins in that flock. I guess that makes me a black sheep with gold socks. Big shoes, but there's no Lambo and no pork chops. After work, I ain't strolling to no boat lots. Just me and my Corona headed to the smoke shop, right next to the dope spot, which is legal, so there's most spots homegrown, so everybody got their own spot. Alright, so that sounds good. Let's hear the second verse real quick. Go on, pick the side you want. If you know, you know. Don't really matter if you pole nice, black or slow. Okay. Sold out by your own chromosomes. Business is begging for more, like they don't know they hold control. Okay. So yeah, I don't see a problem with that chain, honestly, man. I would boost it up a little bit more. I would add some harmonics with the EQ, with the pull tech, saturation, maybe with a different type of saturation tool that's not a tape machine, maybe like the Devil Lock or something, decapitator. Another thing that I would do to this is put a limiter on it, maybe to maximize the volume, or just like a soft clipper, not necessarily a limiter. Let's get into some effects real quick, because this is also suggesting some reverb. So I'll go ahead and make the track for that real quick. Reverb, Echo Boy from Sound Toys, Waves Doubler. I happen to have all those things, so I'm going to go ahead and make 3 different tracks for each one of those effects, and then I'm also going to make an effects group track to route all the effects to. Highlight all the effects, right click on this little arrow down here and say route to this track only, and there you have it, guys. So on this first reverb track, we're gonna go ahead and put the Valhalla Vintage Verb, and then we're gonna look for this setting right here. Let me go ahead and route the lead vocals to that reverb real quick, see what it sounds like. Sold out by your own chromosomes. Business is begging for more, like they don't know they hold control. Feed the beggars at your stuff, not right back in the system. They go deregulation for these corporate norms. That's what they want. Sold out by your own chromosomes. Business is begging for more, like they don't know they hold control. Feed the beggars at your stuff, not right back in the system. They just filtering out this reverb here, just cutting the lows. I'm gonna raise this decay a little bit too. Let's just listen. Sold out by your own chromosomes. Business is begging for more, like they don't know they hold control. Feed the beggars at your stuff, not right back in the system. They go deregulation for these corporate norms. That's what they want. Alright, this Echo Boy, put that on real quick. Echo Boy, we're gonna find a nice preset for that too. Let me go ahead and route the lead vocals to it, and let's play. Sold out by your own chromosomes. Business is begging for more, like they don't know they hold control. Feed the beggars at your stuff, not right back in the system. They go deregulation for these corporate norms. That's what they want. Sold out by your own chromosomes. Business is begging for more, like they don't know they hold control. Feed the beggars at your stuff, not right back in the system. They go deregulation for these corporate norms. That's what they want. Sold out by your own chromosomes. Business is begging for more, like they don't know they hold control. Feed the beggars at your stuff, not right back in the system. They go deregulation for these corporate norms. That's what they want. Sold out by your own chromosomes. Business is begging for more, like they don't know they. Alright, sounds good. This doubler now. Let's go ahead and get this Waves Doubler popping. Waves Doubler. Here we go. And let's go ahead and get this lead vocal hooked up to that doubler. Pull it back a little bit here. Sold out by your own chromosomes. Business is begging for more, like they don't know they hold control. Feed the beggars at your stuff, not right back in the system. They go. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the beat just so y'all can listen to the vocals real quick. Sold out by your own chromosomes. Business is begging for more, like they don't know they hold control. Feed the I'm also going to toggle on and off the plugins. This little button right here, when I press it, it turns off all of the plugins. So that way we can A/B it, listen to it on and listen to it off, so we can see the difference. The same thing with the effects. Mute it and then bring it back every so often. So take a listen. Sold out by your own chromosomes. Business is begging for more, like they don't know they hold control. Feed the beggars at your stuff, not right back in the system. They go deregulation for these corporate norms. That's what they want. Sold out by your own chromosomes. Business is begging for more, like they don't know they hold control. Feed the beggars at your stuff, not right back in the system. They go deregulation for these corporate norms. You hear the difference? Let me go ahead and solo the vocal. This is with no effects, no plugins, just this vocal. Here we go.
Sold out by your own chromosomes. Business is begging for more, like they don't know they hold control. Feed the beggars at your door. If not, right back in the system they go. Deregulation for these corporate gnomes, that's what they want.
Send that to background vocals. Make sure everything is where it's supposed to be. There you go. Yeah, because I heard some background vocals leaking into the main vocals, so I had to put that back where it belongs. Go ahead, highlight this so I can clean it up slightly. It's always good to clean up your vocals, my peoples, as much as y'all can. Every chance you get. It's a tedious thing, so you may not get to it all in one shot, but you don't have to get to it all in one shot. It's good if you do, if you literally take out the time to do so. I just go in and just with the cut tool, put a slice after every transient that I see. And you know that this is the hook. So the fact that it's repeated, you know that you don't have to do it to every single instance of it. All you have to do is take it and copy and paste it. Go ahead and clean this up real good. Make sure nothing looks out of place. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete all these other instances of those vocals, those background vocals. Highlight these and copy and paste them to where they belong. Alright, so now let's clean up this front part right here. By the way, I'm holding Option and clicking and dragging on the edges of each one of these clips and each one of these slices. Everywhere I made a slice, I'm hovering my mouse pointer over it, drag these edges. Okay, so I'll do the same thing with these. Yes, indeed, this is a tedious task, but it is indeed well worth it. You get rid of all the noise. You get a nice clean vocal. It's so much easier to mix a clean vocal than a vocal with a bunch of background noise and overlapping stuff with all of the other vocals and stuff. And you know, it's not really conducive to a healthy workflow. A healthy workflow is one that's going to be comfortable, fast to manage and maneuver and navigate. It's nice to be able to go fast because that just means you know what you're doing. Then again, it's also good to take your time through each one of these processes in mixing. I go in and clean up these vocals really good now. But you can clean it up as you work on them because you never know how creative you want to get during this part of the process. You might want to like double up some vocals, send something to a different channel, route it to the reverb track. So you might want to just do this as you go. So here we go. Let's listen.
For the bucks, try my luck, rock a tux. When I left the block, looking different from the penguins in that flock.
With the beat. So here we go.
For the bucks, try my luck, rock a tux. When I left the block, looking different from the penguins in that flock.
Alright, so what I'm gonna do right now real quick is clean up those lead vocals real quick. And go ahead and clean up these lead vocals because I don't know, it just bothers me. It's kind of a pet peeve, and for whatever reason my ear is so sensitive that it picks it up. It picks up these little nuances, so I just gotta clean it up. It's not like that many audio clips that have that many spaces in them, so this verse is a little bit slower, so I want to get a little bit more creative on this one. See, I create like delay throws on this one. All right, so we clean that up. Let's hear it real quick.
You won't, if you know, you know, you know. Don't really. Oh, nice, black or slow. If we alternative of hope, if give it. Crush me like a roach, divided we crush me like a roach, divided we stand, united we crush me like a roach, divided, crush me like a roach, divided stand, united we fall, however it goes, we crush me like a roach. Divided we stand, united we fall. Alternative of hope, if given the chance, they will crush me like a roach. Divided we stand, united we fall. However it goes, we always left all alone. Sometimes it's on. Capital Greed is the name of the show. That's what you get for being woke, nigga.
Besides dope new beats and high quality mixing and mastering, plus fire graphics for your cover art, 𝐿KBeatz.com is now offering original brand merchandise. So get yours today. Go to www.𝐿KBeatz.com. That's 𝐿KayBeatz.com. We been had the stores.
Being woke, nigga. You cannot make this of the show. That's what you get for being woke, nigga. You cannot make this shit up. You cannot make this shit up. You can't even make this.
Sounding better, we getting there.
The show. That's what they want. You cannot make this shit up. That's what they want. You cannot make this shit up. That's what they want. You cannot make this shit up.
Alright, and then here we're gonna do a trick where we take this piece right here of the beat, we cut it. Since this is the breakdown, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come up here and I'm gonna say make unique as sample. I want this to be a unique sample because I want to reverse it, and I don't want the whole rest of the beat to be reversed. I just want that section to be reversed. So that's the reason why I made it a unique sample. Here we go.
You can't even make this shit. You can't even make this shit. Sold out by your own chromosomes. Business is begging for more like they don't know they hold control. Feed the beggars at your door. If not, right back in the system they go. Deregulation for these corporate norms. That's what they want. You cannot make this shit up.
Alright, a quick little breakdown right there. It's not bad. So you put this level back. Another thing that I'm gonna do now, since we cleaned up everything, I'm gonna go to the hook and we're going to mix the hook now because we don't have anything for the hook. So I'm going to use more or less the same chain that I'm using for the lead vocal, but obviously I'm gonna use stereo plugins. So far so good. 𝐴𝐴𝐴𝐴 is gonna be stereo on this one. And here we go. Stereo 𝐴𝐴𝐴𝐴. Let's listen to this real quick.
You cannot make this shit up. 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 For the bucks, try my luck.
Make this a little bit stereo.
You cannot make this shit up.
Put this background vocal more stereo.
You cannot make this shit up.
Alright, and the last thing is going to be that ampex. That's also going on the hook. Let's hear that.
You cannot make this shit up.
And for the background vocal, I'm gonna make up my own chain. I'm gonna go to the parametric EQ2 filter, and I'm going to knock off all the lows to like about 500 hertz, more or less. And I'm gonna knock off the highs to about 5K. Round off these edges over here. And let's listen to that real quick.
You cannot make this shit up. You cannot make this shit up.
Okay. And then put a compressor on it. Compressor of choice is going to be the CLA28 stereo. Give it some compression.
You cannot make this shit up. 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 You cannot make this shit up.
Alright, and let's give this some pan man. just to modulate from left to right. Make it slow, just like that. Let's hear it.
You cannot make this shit up. You cannot make this shit up. You cannot make this shit up. You cannot make this shit up.
I actually like that, so I'll leave that. Pull back on it a little bit. Background vocals, definitely going to send it to all 3 of my effects as well. I'm gonna turn down the reverb a little bit, and I'm going to turn down the doubler a little bit, and I'm also going to turn down the echo boy just a tad, not too much, just a tad. Make this doubler a little bit more stereo. Now let's hear it.
You cannot make this shit up. 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 For the bucks, try my luck, rock a tux. When I left the block, looking different from the penguins in that flock. I guess that makes me a black sheep with gold socks.
Alright, I'm just gonna work on the level of this lead vocal real quick.
For the bucks, try my luck, rock a tux. When I left the block, looking different from the penguins in that flock. I guess that makes me a black sheep with gold socks. Big shoes, but there's no Lambo and no pork chops. After work, I ain't strolling to no boat lots. Just me and my Corona headed to the smoke shop, right next to the dope spot, which is legal, so there's most spots. Homegrown, so everybody got their own spot. You cannot make this shit.
Okay, sounding good. Now I'm gonna go to the master track and put TR5 classic clipper like I usually do. I'm gonna put this output to about 0.3 dB. Bring this slope up to about -5 and bring this gain up about 1.2 dB. Now let's hear it.
For the bucks, try my luck, rock a tux. When I left the block, looking different from the penguins in that flock. I guess that makes me a black sheep with gold socks. Big shoes, but there's no Lambo and no pork chops. After work, I ain't strolling to no boat lots. Just me.
Turn down this effects.
For the bucks, try my luck, rock a tux. When I left the block, looking different from the penguins in that flock. I guess that makes me a black sheep with gold socks. Big shoes, but there's no Lambo and no pork chops. After work, I ain't strolling to no boat lots. Just me and my Corona headed to the smoke shop, right next to the dope spot, which is legal, so there's most spots. Homegrown, so everybody got their own spot. You cannot make this shit up. You can.
What I'm noticing is that our vocals need like a general multi-band compressor. So I'm gonna go to the All Vox group bus, and I'm going to go to the SSL G3 multi-bus compressor. And this is going to tame the frequencies of all the vocals, like as a group. So let's hear it.
For the bucks, try my luck, rock a tux. When I left the block, looking different from the penguins in that flock. I guess that makes me a black sheep with gold socks. Big shoes, but there's no Lambo and no pork chops. After work, I ain't strolling to no boat lots. Just me and my Corona headed to the smoke shop, right next to the dope spot, which is legal, so there's most spots. Homegrown, so everybody got their own spot. You cannot make this shit up. 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 Go on, pick the side you want. If you know, you know. Don't really matter if you pole nice, black or slow. If we observe your conservative approach, yeah. What's the alternative of hope if?
Alright, so now I'm gonna put a R compressor from Waves, just to give it a very slight, very slight compression. So I'm gonna bring this threshold to about -8, bring the ratio to about like 1.30, bring this attack up to like 232, bring this release up to about 22, so it could be quick. So let's hear it.
For the bucks, try my luck, rock a tux. When I left the block, looking different from the penguins in that flock. I guess that makes me a black sheep with gold socks. Big shoes, but there's no Lambo and no pork chops. After work, I ain't strolling to no boat lots. Just me and my Corona headed to the.
Alright, back to the master track and put a parametric EQ on it, go up to these presets and go to where it says 20 hertz to 18 kilohertz. And we are going to roll off anything below like 26 hertz, 27 hertz, and anything above 18 kilohertz. So let's see what that sounds like.
For the bucks, try my luck, rock a tux. When I left the block, looking different from the penguins in that flock.
Alright, so it's sounding a lot more clear, a lot more clean. There's a few other things that I would do to continue mixing and mastering this song, but honestly, for the most part, it sounds pretty solid to me. Y'all witnessed all the work that was done to it, cleaning it up, you know, just conditioning each vocal, giving each and every vocal its attention, you know, giving each and every plugin a little bit of warmth, you know, giving it a little bit of love, just touching up on some parameters here and there, knowing which presets work better, and even experimenting a little bit. As I showed you, I used a vocal chain that I don't usually use, a vocal chain that was shared by a TikTok friend of mine. That's the one that we used here on the lead vocals, and it sounded pretty good. He was doubtful that this was going to sound good, and I feel like it sounded pretty good, and I'm sticking to it. I'm using it. Every vocal is different. Every song is different. Nothing has to be the same. You don't have to approach every vocal the same way. So, you know, at the end of the day, everything is a learning experience. The more experience we have, the more experience we get. I told them the more we climb out of these little boxes that we put ourselves in, the closer we get to the best sound that we got. Every time we answer one of those questions in our heads, one of those boxes we put ourselves in, like those limitations, you know, like, oh, we can't do this because, you know, we don't usually do this. You know, you want to try different sounds. You want to see what sounds better. If you use the same exact approach and technique on every single song, your sound, you might find, might start feeling a little lackluster. It might start feeling like it's missing something, or it might start feeling like it could just get better. And it may not get better or worse or anything like that, just that it can be different and change. And change can be good because people like change. We all change. It's a natural part of life. It's a normal part of life. So yeah, my peoples, I hope you guys got some gems. Please like this video. Please share this video with anybody you know likes this type of content. Please leave a comment if you think that we can do something better, if you think that there was something that we didn't do, if there's something that you want us to do, just leave it down in the comments. I'll respond as soon as possible. Last but not least, please subscribe to our channel. Every single subscription helps, and we are definitely growing. I really appreciate all of our watchers, and I do encourage you to continue watching and learning and sharing what you're learning as well. You'll see that everything that you share at some point comes back. You know, you teach a lesson gets taught to you at some point. Always give back, my people. Anyways, y'all already know, man. Peace.